Well, after a little bit of technical difficulties, we're back at Myrtle Beach where Steph Marinak managed to take over the lead while we were gone. Hugo Paquette running in second, Brian Hacker in third, and we're now under caution after a car spun itself around. So, gonna try to get ourselves back into this. We're running lap 81 under caution. Steph Marinak holding on to the race lead for the time being.
Well, I tell you, they said computers would make our lives easier. I don't know. But at least we're back. Thank you for sticking with us. Sorry for all the confusion out there. Hopefully, we can bring you the rest of the race in an outstanding way. I look forward to seeing who wins this race here, as this is the Sun Fun 101 presented by Race Replicas. And Kelly, it has been an eventful race so far. Steph Marinak kind of snuck into the lead in that 2 machine.
Yeah, while you were dealing with those technical issues, I was kind of watching the race. I looked away for a second. Marinak was running in third. I looked away, I looked back, Marinak was in first. So I honestly have no idea how he made that pass, but it was quick and it was against 2 cars. And now he's got Hugo Paquette going to be starting on his outside once we get back to green. And we've seen, I think Paquette's led this entire race up to this point. We've seen him lead every one of these restarts. So now we're going to have to see what he's going to be able to do from that second position, which is really the worst place you want to be on these restarts. It is very difficult to kind of get that jump. However, we are going to stay in single file actually. So Paquette not going to have to deal with guessing the jump, as Marinak's going to be able to just stay right in front of him. Pace car is off, coming through turn 4. Now comes the green as Marinak was kind of caught sleeping there. Spins the tires a little bit on the start. Here comes Brian Hacker to the inside of Hugo Paquette.
Hacker in the 11 machine making a move down to the inside. That is a battle for second place with 18 laps to go. Brian Hacker's really been able to move through the field here tonight, and now he's sitting on a top 3 spot trying to make it second place.
Yeah, we got a guy that started in 10th leading the race, and now a guy that started in 9th battling to get second place. Brian Hacker still even with Paquette. Just behind them, we got Joe Schaefer looking for a way around. Is also Justin McDuff trying to see if he can recover from dropping back a few places. Oh, a bit of a wash up in the corner for the 11 machine. Gets into the side of the 33. That's going to allow Hacker to take the position and now drop Paquette back to battle with Schaefer.
Steph Marinak opening up a gap as the 11 moves solidly into second. The 6 is Schaefer now battling with Paquette. Justin McDuff in the 20 machine right now, rounding out your top 5.
Now Paquette's still battling on that high side, trying to get around that 6 machine, but he's not able to work that high line like a few other drivers have been able to tonight. And starting to see that inside line, able to battle back a little bit. Now with Schaefer just getting his nose ahead of that 33 of Paquette, and now going into turn 3, Paquette gets the advantage. So these guys are just back and forth for this battle for third.
Hard fought for third place as the 6 of Schaefer is going to get an excellent run through the middle of the corner, shuts the door on the 33, and that puts Paquette into 4th place.
Yeah, a bit of a slide job sort of from Schaefer there to kind of cut off the run of that 33 machine. So some good heads up racing to realize when he was clear, move up to kind of block the run from that 33. So great driving from that 6. And just a little bit further back, McDuff had to check up a little bit, and that's kind of allowing Brandon Otto to take a look. But then Otto had to check up, and now the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre getting on him.
McIntyre way up high through 1 and 2. Matt McLean in the 88 taking a look to his inside. Nothing there just yet as they round their way through 3 and 4. Going to be 10 laps to go.
10 to go, and Marinak's holding on to a half a second lead, opening that gap up just a little bit every lap as he's cruising. Now here comes Joe Schaefer. He wants second place. He'll take a look to the inside of Brian Hacker through turns 3 and 4. Hacker able to hold on the outside, but not quite get clear of that 6 just yet. He's going to take another look on the inside turns 1 here.
side by side for a moment. The 6 is going to tuck in behind the 11 as Steph Marinak looking like he might be able to win his first race of the season.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I wouldn't have guessed that halfway through the regular season we'd be saying Steph Marinak's looking for his first, but he's holding on to a solid lead and continuing to open that gap as Hacker has to focus more on holding off Joe Schaefer than chasing down that 2 of Marinak, and that's allowing Marinak to just kind of slip away with this race.
Marinak has opened up an 0.8 of a second lead over Brian Hacker. Hacker in that 11 looking like he would like to hold on to second place, but Joe Schaefer says, I don't know yet, man. I might want it a little bit more.
Yeah, Schaefer all over the rear bumper of that 11 machine. Just behind them, getting a great battle between Paquette and McDuff. McDuff actually having to check up really hard there, and that's going to allow him to get within the reach of Brandon Otto, who's looking to try to get himself into the top 5.
Otto in that 24 machine taking a peek down to the inside. Matt McLean to the inside of the 81 of McIntyre. McIntyre scraping the wall a little bit, but he's staying on that outside lane and making it work.
And Hacker really fighting hard to hold off Schaefer. Schaefer just trying everything to get around that 11 machine, just trying to work that inside line for all it's worth, but Hacker holding off well in that outside lane, able to just get the better corner exits to keep himself just out of touch of that 6 machine as these laps are ticking down now.
That they are 3 to go for the 2 machine of Steph Marinak as he is out in that clean air, doesn't have a challenge behind him. He's now about 0.9 of a second lead over the 11 machine, and with 2 laps to go, that might as well be a forever distance.
Yeah, he has absolutely left the rest of this field. Now coming around turns 3 and 4, he's going to have to just do this one more time and at his own pace. He's got a solid lead, and the Hugo Paquette getting a bit of a shot from the 20, getting loose out of turn 4. Everyone's still battling for these final positions. Hacker trying to hold off Schaefer. Paquette trying to defend from Justin McDuff. McDuff going to get around Paquette. Steph Marinak wins the race. The Sun Fun 101. Hacker going to come home second over Schaefer. And Justin McDuff able to get around Paquette at the line.
So another outstanding race here by the Upstate Racing League, presented by Verge, or fueled by Verge. The Sun Fun 101, 101 laps completed here at Myrtle Beach. Your race winner is the 2 machine of Steph Marinak. And guys, we're gonna set up our Austin Designs post-race show. No one go anywhere. We'll be back for our post-race interviews. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we have our race winner. That is the 2 machine of Steph Marinak, as he did a celebratory burnout and a victory lap. Steph, congratulations on your first win of the season. All right. Well, Steph is so excited to be in victory lane that maybe he isn't quite ready to talk. So, Kelly, you want to go ahead and talk to the 11 of Brian Hacker?
And we'll catch up with Brian Hacker while Steph kind of figures out what's going on on his end here. But Brian, come home in second, and not without your own bit of fighting, and kind of run us through the last couple laps with battling with Joe there.
Yeah, the tires were shot at the end, so I really didn't have a whole lot left, and he had more than I did, so I was just more or less trying to take the fastest line away from him, make him really work to get around me. Unfortunately, the laps ran out before he could do it.
Well, you had a solid finish here tonight. I believe that's really going to kind of shoot you up the chase standings, and going on to the rest of the schedule here. We just got a few more races left in the regular season, and what's going to be kind of the focus for these last couple of races? Are you going to be going for the big points to kind of secure your position, or just looking for the consistent finishes?
I think probably the consistent finishes and taking opportunities when they're presented. But tonight a few opportunities presented themselves to me. At the beginning of the race, I got into Bill Martin a little bit. I didn't know if it was net cut or not. My apologies. I never want to do that with anybody. So apologies to him and his team. But it's going to be an interesting rest of the season. There's some tracks coming up that I'm not particularly good at. So glad to get a good finish here.
All right, Brian, we'll get a good finish. You did with a second place. And before you let you go, who do you wish to thank for this run you had here tonight?
Sure. On the card tonight, we've got the Western Super Series running on Tuesday nights. They've just started broadcasting on speed51.com, so pretty cool for them. A big part of that with Richard Orr and Narrative Coffee, who's been with me for a few years, and then Paycent, who's been on board, and they're partners with Verge and the whole deal that puts this series on. So big thanks to them and Fueled by Verge, and Al and the URL guys for putting this on, the teammates at Smith Racing Inc., and you guys for putting this on the airwaves.
All right, well, thank you very much, Brian, and hopefully we'll hear from you next week.
Hope so.
All right, that was Brian Hacker, finished driver in the number 11 and finished in second place here tonight. And gonna send it back to KR. KR, which one of these guys are you gonna be catching up with now?
I think we're going to talk to Joe Schaefer, driver of the Six Machine. Joe, you had an outstanding race, bringing that Six Machine home in sixth place. You tried the high side, you tried the low side. What was it like out there tonight?
Well, I really struggled for grip everywhere. I saw Steph pass on the bottom, so I don't know. I tried to go down there, but I just wasn't aggressive enough to pull it off. When I decided it was go time, I think I waited a little bit too long. I tried to just maintain for as long as I could, trying to make sure I'd restart on the high side, and I kind of put myself to sleep a little bit. And when it was time to go, I couldn't turn my brain on, make the moves when I needed to.
It's terrible. The brain just decided it didn't want to race tonight.
Well, I don't know. I felt pretty good about it. I just guess I just didn't. It was a disconnect between the brain and the right foot. I didn't trust it, and I didn't want to spin it in front of the whole field. So I've switched to racing in VR. So this was only my second race doing it. So I'm still learning, and the feel is a little different. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
Well, third place finish, even with a brain disconnected, that's a solid night to me.
When you put it like that, that makes me feel good. Thank you.
Well, Joe, outstanding race. You brought it home third. Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Yeah, thank the posse and Drew Krybeck, Epic, Verge, and all obviously the Upstate guys for putting the show on.
All right, Joe, again, congratulations on your third place finish. And I guess some more practice laps and you'll be right back in the mix.
Yeah, hope so.
All right, man. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
That was Joe Schaefer bringing it home in third place. Now we'll see if we can get a hold of our race winner. That is the two of Steph Marinac. Steph, you got your ears on, bud?
I'm here now. Yes, my hotkeys weren't working.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the race win here tonight. You're sitting in victory lane. That 2 machine was on rails all night long. It took you quite a few laps to get to the front, but once you did, man, you were gone.
Yeah, it was just finally just everything kind of worked out tonight. I was inches away from getting in the first 3 cautions, and I was riding behind Justin and Hugo, and I was just waiting for the moment to try to make a move. And I think Justin got into him, and then Hugo got loose. Justin had to check up for him, and I went down to the bottom. I didn't know if it would work or not, but it stuck. Got around Hugo, and the car handled pretty good. Just kind of drove away at the end. Brian was kind of scaring me. He was catching me some laps, and I'd pull away from him other laps, but managed to hold on to it, and I'm glad I got that first win this season. I didn't know if it was going to happen.
Well, you got that win here at Myrtle Beach. You climbed into second place in the point standings with a big gap to Bill Martin. You had an excellent run here tonight. Bill, not so much. So you're able to close that gap. And what are your thoughts on with this regular season coming to a close and the chase getting ready to shape up?
Well, I'm not sure if there's bonus points or anything for winning the regular season. I'll have to check, but if there is, that's great for me. But I'm more focused on the chase. I did want to get a win in the regular season. I don't know if we get bonus points for that or anything, but usually, if I can get a win early in the season, I can get a win later in the season. So I'm happy with the spot we're in, and we'll keep running and try to run good in the chase too.
All right, Steph. Well, again, congratulations on the race win out there. Nice job. Anyone you need to mention that hasn't been mentioned yet?
Yeah, just thank you guys for doing the broadcast, and thank all my teammates at Empire Racing Team, Justin, Chris, AJ, and then thank you to Race Replicas for sponsoring the race, and then thanks to Al for running Upstate Racing League.
All right, that is your race winner, Steph Marinac, getting it done out here tonight at Myrtle Beach. And Kelly, minus that little hiccup we had in the middle, the racing all night long was action-packed. There wasn't a lap that these guys weren't side by side.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a different story come next week, as we're going to be going to Oxford Plains, and we were kind of talking about this track maybe being 1 lane. Turns out it wasn't. It was 2 lane, and I think I can put money on Oxford being a little bit less so next week, as that track is going to be very difficult to pass at, and I'm sure it's going to be single file for a lot of it. But I am looking forward to that race, because last season we saw, I think the best way to say is we saw sparks fly last year when they went to that racetrack. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens this year around.
All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up for us here at Turn 3 Racing Network at Myrtle Beach. This was the Sun Fun 101, presented by Race Replicas. Thank you so much for joining us, and until we see you next week, y'all stay safe, have fun, and Kelly, how do I end this thing?
Oh, I don't know what you're wanting to tell me or get me to do, because we're both kind of drawing blanks here. But thank you everyone for joining us here tonight, and hope everyone had a happy New Year's, and we'll see you all next week.
Here.
The most
Yeah, if you could
realistic
throw me under
online
the bus,
racing
that'd be
sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world champions. The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.